November 29, 1970. A man hiking in Norway's Isdalen Valley stumbles upon a horrifying sight: a woman's charred body hidden among the rocks. Her face is burned beyond recognition. Her fingerprints have been removed. Every label on her clothing has been cut out. But the most disturbing part? Evidence suggests her death is connected to a Nazi spy network that survived long after World War II ended. Welcome to WW2 Dark Chronicles. Today we're investigating one of the coldest cases in European history, a mystery that bridges the Second World War and the Cold War that followed. The Isdalen Woman, as she became known, was found dead in a remote Norwegian valley in 1970. But investigators soon discovered she had been traveling across Europe using multiple fake identities, staying in hotels under different names, and following patterns consistent with intelligence operatives. Her coded notes, suspicious behavior, and the brutal nature of her death suggest she wasn't just a tourist. She was a spy, and someone wanted her silenced. The question is, who was she working for, and what secrets died with her in that frozen valley? On that cold November afternoon, a University of Bergen professor was hiking through Isdalen, the ice valley, when he noticed something unusual. Partially hidden behind rocks, covered by a sleeping bag, was a woman's body. She had been burned severely. The fire had consumed most of her face and upper body. Nearby, investigators found dozens of sleeping pills and 2 empty bottles of liquor. At first glance, it looked like suicide, a tragic case of a woman who took pills, drank herself unconscious, and set herself on fire. But nothing about this case would be simple. When police examined the scene more closely, the inconsistencies began to pile up. Her fingerprints had been deliberately sanded off. Every piece of her clothing, underwear, coat, boots, had the labels carefully removed. Her jewelry showed no identifying marks. In her luggage, found at a nearby hotel, investigators discovered 9 wigs of different colors, a prescription bottle with the label torn off, coded notes written in a cipher, fake passports and identity cards. She had been traveling under at least 8 different aliases, checking into hotels across Norway, never staying more than a night or two. This wasn't suicide. This was someone trying to erase her existence. Investigators traced her movements across Scandinavia. In the weeks before her death, she had stayed in hotels in Bergen, Oslo, Stavanger, and Trondheim, always using fake names, always paying cash. Hotel staff described her as elegant, well-dressed, speaking multiple languages fluently. She seemed nervous, constantly checking over her shoulder. One receptionist remembered her asking, "Has anyone been looking for me?" Security camera footage from one hotel showed her meeting with an unidentified man in a dark coat. He handed her an envelope. They spoke briefly. Then he disappeared. Who was he? What was in the envelope? We'll never know. The footage was later lost by police. As investigators dug deeper, a chilling pattern emerged. The Isdalen Woman's travel routes matched known espionage corridors used during World War II and the Cold War. Norway, though neutral during much of the war, had been a hotbed of Nazi intelligence operations. After 1945, many of these networks weren't dismantled. They were absorbed by both sides of the Cold War. The woman's coded notes were analyzed by cryptographers. They appeared to be location markers and meeting times, written in a cipher similar to those used by wartime intelligence agencies. The autopsy revealed even more disturbing details. Cause of death: carbon monoxide poisoning and burns. But here's the problem. The level of carbon monoxide in her blood was so high, she would have been unconscious or dead before the fire started. Someone had burned her body after she died. The sleeping pills in her system? Enough to sedate her, but not enough to kill. And the bottles of liquor found at the scene? Her stomach contained almost no alcohol. The scene had been staged. One theory suggests the Isdalen Woman was part of a surviving Nazi intelligence network. During the war, the Nazis ran extensive spy operations in Norway, recruiting locals and foreign agents. After Germany's defeat, many of these operatives went underground. Some continued working for the Soviets, others for Western intelligence agencies. A few remained loyal to the old regime, operating in the shadows. Could the Isdalen Woman have been one of them? Was she killed because she knew too much, or because she tried to defect? Over the decades, several theories have emerged. Theory 1. Soviet spy. She was a KGB operative gathering intelligence on NATO installations in Norway. She was killed by Soviet handlers when she became a liability. Theory 2. Double agent. She worked for both East and West, selling secrets to the highest bidder. When one side discovered her betrayal, they eliminated her. Theory 3. Nazi remnant. She was part of a post-war Nazi network, possibly involved in smuggling war criminals or laundering stolen assets. She was murdered to protect the network. Theory 4. Mossad operation. Some believe she was connected to Israeli intelligence hunting former Nazis in Europe. Her death was retaliation. None of these theories have been proven. The truth remains buried. Perhaps most disturbing is how Norwegian authorities handled the case. Key evidence disappeared. Witnesses were never interviewed. The investigation was quietly closed in 1971. In 2016, the case was reopened using modern forensic techniques. Isotope analysis of her teeth suggested she grew up in Germany, possibly in the Nuremberg region, a Nazi stronghold. But even with new technology, her identity remains unknown. The Isdalen Woman was buried in a zinc coffin in Bergen, in case future technology could identify her. Her grave is marked only with a number. 50 years later, we still don't know her name. We don't know who she worked for. We don't know who killed her or why. But we know this. She was someone important enough to erase. Someone dangerous enough to silence. And her secrets were worth killing for. The shadows of World War II are long, and in those shadows, the dead keep their secrets. Thank you for watching WW2 Dark Chronicles. Subscribe for more untold stories from the war. Next episode, Operation Mincemeat, the corpse that fooled Hitler. What do you think happened to the Isdalen Woman? Leave your theory in the comments.